Should bring up Cengage. Select Start. And I'm going to download the start file, and I already have the instruction file open on a separate screen. Alright. So you always want to make sure your name is in cell B6. Yep. Alright, let's see. So you want us to rename or save the file, right? So what I'll do is we need to change this to _2. So as always, I use save as, right? Save as. I'm saving all of my Nichols files to one location so I don't get confused on where my files are saved. You can see I have a previous assignment saved here, so I just want to make sure that I'm modifying this file. So when I go to submit the file, I want to make sure I'm selecting the right one as well. Otherwise, you'll get a 0 in your submission, which is very rare that you get a 0 after you work on a file. Okay, project step 1. Jennifer is the business manager at Urgent Care Clinic. Jennifer is adding formatting to the workbook she uses to track stats on patient visits to make it easier to read and use. Change the theme of the workbook to Office. Okay. So themes would be under the page layout, and all the way to your left hand side, themes. Office is the first theme, and as you can see, as you hover over different themes, you can see some of the particulars change, and even the column letters, right? So Office, and then they want us to go over to the Visits Worksheet tab. Step 2, once you switch to the Visits Worksheet, format the headings, change the merge and center the range A1 through H1. So you want to select this range, go to the page tab, home tab, sorry, and you want to select merge and center. Step 3, apply the heading. Let's see. Okay. Step 3, apply the heading 1 style to the range A1 through H1. Okay. Our styles are in the middle right here on the home tab. So let's use a few more. And we want to select heading 1. Right. So you should see this, the blue line and the formatting of the text. Step 4, merge and center the range A2 through H2. Same process, right? Merge and center. Okay, step 5. Jennifer needs to format the report dates. Change the background color of the range A4 let's see. A4 through B5. Here we go. Change the background color to gray, accent 3, lighter 80. So while you have this range selected, you could right click on it and go to your fill colors. Excuse me. So it's the gray color palette, which is the 7th one over, and we're looking for accent 3, lighter 80. Right, so when you hover over it, you should see accent 3, lighter 80, and select that color. Step 6, format the range A4 to A5 as bold. So once you select A4 to A5, you could select B for bold up here, or you could use your Control and D key, and it will actually apply the bold formatting as well. Step 7, format the range B4 through B5 to use a date format with a 2-digit month, 2-digit day, and a 2-digit year. So select the range B4 to B5, right click your selection, format cells, and we're on the date format. So we're looking for 03, 14, 12. So double click it or select it, and you should see every representation of a number in your date format. It should be 2 digits. Step 8, she wants to format the table headings. Format the range A7 to H8 as italic. So once you have it selected, you could select I up here for italic, or you could use Control I, and it'll also italicize the range you have selected. Step 9, apply the horizontal centering to the contents of each cell in the range A7 through H8. Okay, so you could go and do this cell by cell, but being you have the whole entire range selected, in the alignment section, you could go ahead and select center, the horizontal center, and it horizontally centers all of your information. Now you see in F7, there's some portion of this word that you can't make out. This is going to be addressed later on in the assignment, so do not worry about this now. Okay, let me make sure I'm on the right step here. Step 10, change the background color of the range A7 through H7. Okay, we'll go this whole length here to orange accent 2, lighter 60. So we have the range selected. Go ahead and right click on it, go to the fill. I see orange is right here, and we want to go to lighter 60. So this is 80, this should be 60. Okay. Step 11, change the background color of the ranges B8 through D8 and F8 through H8. So remember how you select non-adjacent cells or ranges? Select B8 through D8, release your mouse keys, press and hold down the control key, and then make your selection F8 through H8, and then you can just release it, right? Okay, so now we have these selected, and you want to change this to orange accent 2, lighter 40. So go ahead and right click on one of your selections. We want to go to lighter 40, which would be the next one down. So you should see it's a little darker shade of orange. If you're not in the habit, I guess, of selecting non-adjacent cell and ranges, you could always just format this color and then select this range and format the background color here as well. So more than one way to get there. Step 12, merge and center the range A8 and A7. So right here, A8 and A7. They want us to merge and center it. So under the Home tab, in the section, Alignment section, select Merge and Center. Okay, then they want us to vertically center the merged cells. So while we still have this selected, go ahead and in the Alignment section, we want to select the middle alignment or center, so it centers it vertically. Okay. Step 13, merge and center the range E7 to E8. So right here, E7 to E8. So let's merge and center this. And then we want to apply the vertical centering as well. Step 14, merge and center the range B7 through D7. Okay, so we're going to merge and center here. And then we want to do the same thing for F7 through H7, merge and center. Now we can see the rest of that wording that was hidden. Okay, step 15. Jennifer would like to spruce up the table data. Change the background color of the range A10 through H10 to white background 1, darker 5. Okay, let's do that. Right click. So white background 1, darker 5. You're not going to notice a big difference. What you will notice is the appearance of your grid lines have disappeared, right? So between A and B, you see a break in the grid lines. So that tells you have applied a color, even though it's not that noticeable. And then repeat for the range A12. A12 through H12. Okay, so let's highlight A12 through H12. We just selected the color to fill with, right? So our fill bucket still has the color that we just used, right? So all you have to do, you don't have to go reselect it. All you have to do is go reselect the fill button. You don't have to reselect the actual color. And then you can see it applies it here by noticing the line break, the grid break. And if you're not too sure and you say, hey, I don't trust you, I don't know if that's the right color, just go ahead and you could select your fill and you can see it is the one that is selected. You could also right click on it and do the same thing, right? The same process. So anyway, more than one way to get there. Step 16, in the range F9. In the range F9 through H12. Apply the percentage number format with 0 decimal places. Okay. I'll show you this. So you want to use the symbol here, format as a percentage, 0 decimal places. If you use the percentage in the number formatting up here, you see it's 2 decimal places behind the percentage. So if you use this one, it wouldn't mark it as correct. There's ways to go around this. You could always decrease the amount of decimals, or just select this one from the beginning and it formats it with 0 decimals. So that's the difference in the percentage formats. Okay. Step 17, use the highlight cells rule conditional formatting to format cells in the range of G9 through G12. Okay, with light red fill with dark red text. So they want us to use conditional formatting here in anything less than 6%. It wants the Excel sheet to highlight the cells in light red with a dark red text. Okay, so once you make your selection, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and we want to use the less than. Okay. And right here you would type in 6%, it's already typed in, and the fill this is correct. Everything's correct as is. Okay. So if you notice here, it's 8%, and 11% are not automatically conditionally filled because they don't meet the condition less than 6%. Step 18 for the merge range A17. Right here, A17 to A23. Rotate the cell contents to 0 degrees and then change the indent to 2. Okay. So there's more than one way to get here. What I would do is select A17, A23, this merge cell. Go to the alignment section under the Home tab. And right here you can adjust the orientation of your text. I would just highlight this and select 0. And then your indent is indicated here. And you can increment it here or just highlight and type it 2. So let's see what else we have to do. Is that it? Okay, yes. Alright, so now your text is oriented 0 degrees, right, just horizontally, and it's in the center, the indent brings it in more. Step 19, find and replace all instances of the text insurance, or INS, with insurance. Okay. So under the Home tab, all the way to your right, there's a Find and Select. You could use Find, or if you hit Select Replace, it actually gives you, hey, what are you looking for? I'm looking for INS, and I want to replace it with insurance. And I always like to do Find All first to actually look to see what values it's finding. Make sure it's not finding INS in a word that exists already that I do not want to change. But in this case, the instructions are telling us we should find 2 instances of INS that we need to change. Okay, so once you're comfortable with this, I would say replace all, and then it confirms that, hey, we did it and we've replaced 2 instances of INS. Okay, step 20. Finally, she needs to format the workbook for printing. Insert a page break to start a new page at 14. Okay, so let's go to row 14 and let's go to page layout and breaks. Insert a page break, or yeah, insert a page break. Step 21, set the margins to narrow. So while you're on page layout, go to margins, select narrow. And then step 22, set rows 1 and 2 to print as titles. Okay, so what I would do here, I would go to page setup. And if you go to header sheet, and right here, the print title section, rows to repeat at top. Place your cursor in this section, and then we want to repeat rows 1 and 2. So what this is saying, every page that's printed, the titles, row 1 and 2 will always print at the top of each page. So if this was a 10-page sheet or a 10-page print sheet selection, rows 1 and 2 would print on the top of every page. So it doesn't have to exist on top of every page. Okay, so once you have this selected, go ahead, go to the header footer, and step 23 is saying create a custom footer for this worksheet. In the left footer section, display the current page number. Okay, so we want to select current custom footer, and in the left section, we want to select the element that displays the current page number. So these are the elements right here, these symbols. So this is definitely a format text one, right? But when you come from left to right, insert the page number, and this right here, insert number of pages. So we don't want number of pages, we want the actual page number. So we're going to use this element. And in the center section, they want us to display the sheet name. So the sheet name down here is visits. It would put this at the bottom of the page, and if the next page was titled something else at the bottom, it would actually put that on that page as well. So we're looking for the sheet name. So as you come from left to right, the next one's date, time, the file path, where is it located, the file name, and then actually the sheet name down on the tab at the bottom. Okay. And then let's see, is there anything to do on the right side? Okay, so this is it, right? So then select OK, and you won't see the things you just set unless you go to print preview, right? So if you go to File and you go to Print, you can see right here our page is landscape. This is page 1 at the bottom. The page or sheet name is visits, and our title on this sheet is rows 1 and 2. And when you go to the next sheet, you see how rows 1 and 2, the title presents itself at the top. It's telling you at the bottom it is page 2, and the sheet name is visits. Okay, because that's where the information is coming from. Now, I guess if you were working with this report, we'd probably center this information so it's a little more presentable. I guess it just depends what you're working on. Just to show you where that's at really quick, it has nothing to do with this assignment, but in the same area you were working on, we'll go ahead and show you this. If you go to margins, you have center on page horizontally. You can see how it moved over here. And you could also center it vertically. I'm not going to do vertically. And when I select OK, you can see the information moves to the middle of the page. Now, if you did this, please undo it, because if not, the assignment probably will mark it wrong. But I'm just showing you a way to further make this more presentable, right? So, so you should be good here. If you renamed your file earlier, you should be good. To make sure you know where your file is being saved, you could do save as if you're not comfortable with it, and you want to make sure that this file is here. I'm going to do save, and this is telling me, hey, you already have this file name in this location. Do you want to replace it? And I do, right, because it's an update to what I had before. So let me go ahead and submit this file. So I'll go ahead and click it instead of dragging this time, and you just want to make sure you're selecting the right file, right? So look at the time, it's 9:55, so this is the right file. It's also the file name that I'm working on. Everything's looking good here. Let's see if I missed a step or miss. Okay, so it looks good. Hope this helps. If you didn't get 100, review some of the steps in the video. Probably just a simple oversight on your part. All right, have a good day.